It is 7:30 p.m. We'll continue on with the agenda, and the next item is Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone will please stand. Okay, we do have some upcoming special presentations. On March 10th, we will have our preliminary budget presentation for the 25-26 school year. On March 24th, Charlene Peterson from New Jersey School Boards will present updates on school board ethics, current ethic issues that she or school boards is seeing across the state. On April 28th, there will be the final budget presentation and hearing for school year 25-26. And on June 9th, New Jersey School Boards will be returning to help us recap our goals, present our self-evaluations, and help us set goals for 25-26 school year. Ms. Gorowski, can you please change that to include that it is a retreat, a board retreat, and we'll have an early start at 6 p.m.? Thank you. Next item is superintendent comments. Dr. Forte?
So our Anxious Generation group is up to about 130 people right now. We are getting ready. We're doing some final preparations for the first meeting on March 5th. Very excited. And we're going to meet with St. Clair's as well to talk about the panel that will be on April 22nd. A little green team update. Our green team has been very active and they're real involved in the town. I'm pretty happy about some of the things that are going on. They did do their application for Sustainable Jersey. We're expecting to find out where we're at in March. The recycling center, that thing's moving along, and we're going to have the plastic recyclables at the DPW, and we got a confirmation from Wegmans to be a collection site. So we'll be transporting any plastics from Denville to Wegmans. We've already submitted 600 pounds of Trex recycling since November. So we're going to hit our 1,000 pound goal, and we'll get another bench out of it. They're also recycling sneakers, which has been really, really positive. A lot of people have been bringing sneakers in. It's a company called Got Sneakers, and they actually provide the bags to recycle them, and then also the postage. Sustainable Sunday, if you're around, June 8th, our Sustainable Jersey from Valley View will be there, actually from all three schools. And another nice event is the Arbor Day event at the Oaks this year on the 25th. And that's my report for today.
Thank you, Dr. Forte. Assistant Superintendent comments. Dr. Cullis?
Just a reminder that kindergarten registration is open, and you can find it on our website at denville.org. We currently have 133 students registered, 57 at Lakeview, 62 at Riverview, and 14 currently in the flexible attendance zone. And just a reminder that because of the class size placement, that our flex zone notification letter will be going out a little later than usual. COGAT testing started today, so second graders test today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and fifth graders take theirs on Thursday and Friday. The DALA program will be running again this summer as a paid program for 4 weeks, and registration opens Monday, March 3rd. And it will run from June 30th to July 24th. The cost is $70 per week. This concludes the Assistant Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Cullis. Business administrative comments. Mrs. Grouse.
Just a reminder, if you have not completed your ethic disclosure form, please log in and complete it and submit it to me for review. If you need a reminder for your PIN number, please email me and I'll forward it to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is 7:35 and we'll open it up for public comments. Seeing no one online and no one in the chambers, we'll close it at 7:35 PM. Mrs. Adelis, can you take us through old business action to be taken?
I'm happy to. The following resolutions have been recommended by the Superintendent of Schools to the Board of Education for approval. I move the following through to approval. The A, resolve that the board approve the following reports for January 2025, the Treasurer of School Monies and the Board Secretary report. B, the education reports 1, 2, and 3. 4 has been pulled until further notice. C, the minutes result for organization meeting January 6th, the work session and executive session for January 6th, and the regular session and executive session for January 27th.
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Mrs. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
Yes.
Mr. Capello,
Yes,
Mr. Kim.
Yes. Mr. Capello, can you take us through personnel, please?
I'd be happy to. If there are no objections under personnel, I would like to move items 1 through 6. 1 includes new hires, resignations, retirements, employee leaves, extra pay, and adjustments. Number 2 is rescinding a resolution. Number 3 is retroactively approving a math club advisor. Number 4 is approving Matthew Prohl to be trained as a school bus driver. Number 5 is a leave of absence, or actually a couple of leaves of absences. Number 6 includes new hire substitutes for the district.
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Mrs. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
Yes.
Mr. Capello,
Yes,
Mr. Kim.
Yes. Dr. Moore, can you walk us through IMP, please?
Sure. I'd like to move the following resolutions under instruction and program for approval. Under number 1 is the attached list of field trips, and under number 2 is to approve the Shenandoah National Park to provide a free virtual program, the Shenandoah Salamander, Climate Change Casualty or Survivor, to 8th graders on March 13th.
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Ms. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
Yes.
Mr. Capello,
yes,
Mr. Kim.
Yes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is governance. I'll go ahead and take care of that. I motion that we approve the section under policies for first reading, and that includes a bunch of policies and regulations as outlined on the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments? I just want to note that Governance Committee did have a couple of policies that we wanted to vote on, but we'll go ahead and put it on the next cycle's agenda. So the March regular session agenda, you'll see a couple from Governance as well.
The last one is the governance one too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that on here that I?
0110.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like maybe 3 policies.
There is, the other ones we'll put on the next.
Okay, sure. That's not a problem. Okay, great. Roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Mrs. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
Yes.
Mr. Capello,
yes.
Mr. Kim.
Yes. Mr. Cass, since Mr. Anderson isn't here, could you walk us through finance, please?
Glad to do it. Okay, under finance, item number 1, I'm asking the board to approve the enclosed checklist in the following amounts. You have the milk fund, $14,500.68. We have a payroll, check register current expense, $3,740,481.59. And we also have the elementary enrichment check for $2,046.96, and general organization at $14,180. Item 2 is to approve the donation of $2,500 in Acme gift cards from the Acme Markets Foundation. Item number 3 is to approve the attached contract with Brooke Arthur Executive Coach. And item number 4 is the board approve the following summer enrichment fee structure: $115 to parent cost per class, $73 paid to teachers, $17 paid to coordinators, and $25 paid to the Board of Education.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions or comments? I want to go ahead and thank Acme Markets for the donations of the gift cards. That is fantastic. Roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Mrs. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
No on the milk fund, yes on everything else.
Mr. Capello,
Yes.
Mr. Kim.
Yes. And Mr. Cass, can you walk us through operations as well?
Glad to. Under operations, transportation, there are no actions to be considered on this agenda. Number 2, building and grounds. Item 2.1, I'm asking the board to approve the devotional associates of Yogeshwar use of the facility at the rate of $100 an hour for the 2024-2025 school year. And item 2.2, that the board approve the following building usage for summer 2025: at Valley View Recreation Camps, at Riverview National Football League Alumni Camp for 1 week, and at Lakeview, Denville ESY, DILA, and enrichment.
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
Yeah, I just had on item 2.1, I believe that we rented facilities to them last year.
We did.
Yeah, what facility, can you refresh my memory, what facility are they going to be using?
That will be the Riverview School.
Okay.
If there are no other questions or comments, roll call, please.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Adelis,
Yes.
Mrs. Astorino,
Yes.
Mr. Cass,
Yes.
Mr. Capello,
Yes.
Mr. Kim.
Yes. Okay, we are at the point of the agenda for the good of the cause to discuss any committee reports, correspondence, discussion items such as board meeting highlights and classroom considerations.
I can start out. A couple of things I wanted to bring up. I went to the Riverview PTA meeting, always one of the fun parts of my job. And just a couple of key items that Mrs. T brought up, that the global play was a big success, as well as the friendship holiday. And once again, she frequently mentions the therapy dogs that come in, and that's always a very positive experience for everybody. And also at this time, I didn't realize they also bring in cats periodically and rabbits. So the other thing she mentioned, which something stays under the radar, but I think it's really important, especially with post-COVID, is the with this flu epidemic running through our society there, the absenteeism rate is well above average, and there's a lot of absenteeism. And she reminded all the PTA people that were there that we do have standards for absenteeism, and if you go over that threshold of more than 10, there's warnings and ensuing processes that could happen, which is unfortunate, especially with the flu going around. So it was good to remind everybody that the goal is 10% or less of absenteeism. And that attendance is automatically generated by Genesis, so they have some operating efficiency with tracking that. And she also reminded everybody, you have new neighbors moving in with kindergarten kids to get them to register as soon as possible. And that was about it. Brick fundraiser was another important. They do a lot of very creative fundraisings at Riverview, so that was good to hear. The other thing is that I want to go too deep in the weeds on this, but I've mentioned this to a few people, is with the affordable housing mandate. And this is not stopping with the current round. It's, it's like it's going to go on forever for the way it's set up right now. But I see this as an unfunded mandate because you're looking at a real big impact to the schools, especially if you have to do addition that you were not planning, or you have to build a new school. And as well as the lack of studies on the impact to infrastructure, traffic, water and sewage, and the environment when you cut down all these acres. So I think that's something that we, maybe through the governance committee, but we should talk to our attorneys. And well, as it was 27 other towns, Dr. Forte, that were involved in these lawsuits. I mean, that could be another way to get some sanity to this process, because right now we're losing a lot of these court cases, including having the town council have to do a very unpopular resolution buying onto it before the other case is comes to court and a decision is made on it.
Thank you, Don. Do you know if the township or the town passed a resolution stating a position?
When we were at the last meeting there, I was under the impression they were going to approve it. Because if you don't approve that, onerous as it is, then you don't have the protection of the courts anymore. You're on your own. And that could just cost a small fortune. And you don't know which way the wind's going to blow. You could end up with a higher count of affordable housing. So it's you walk on a tightrope wire by not approving it the way it's worded. But it's you really don't have any choice. I mean, slowly way they have chipped away at home rule with the affordable housing in terms of getting the towns to do something which is reasonable for the well-being of their citizens and their town.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. Governance committee did discuss it, and I'm working with Mike to try to develop a resolution for us to maybe hold a position on everything like that. So we'll present it to the board once we have a resolution, a draft resolution in mind.
That's a great idea, and I think I don't know if there's one central point, Dr. Forte, for the other towns that are fighting affordable housing, but that resolution could be like a boilerplate. These other towns, I mean, that just us, Denville, sending something to the state legislature, the governor. If you had 27 other towns doing it too, I think it would have more impact. But I really think it's important that all the Board of Eds and the communities escalate their objection to what's being done.
Yeah.
Including the fact that the cities are exempt from it, which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, if we do develop something, we could bring it to school boards maybe and have the delegate assembly take a look at it as well. So, any other board members want to say a few words? Or I have two things. I was actually part of a security drill that was held at Lakeview. So I want to thank Dr. Forte. I want to thank Ms. Sarnopoli, and I want to thank Mr. Scala for showing me all the ins and outs that they go through. It was great to see the security drill happening with the new technology that was purchased by the district, and it was really comprehensive. It was really state of the art, and it was really impressive. I also want to thank the Denville Police Department, who was there as well. And, one of the things for me that's still sort of shocking is that this happens on a monthly basis, this drill. And I know that we've been doing this for years, but to me, it's still kind of, I'm trying to find the word for it, I guess uncomfortable or just sort of in shock, I think, with the fact that this is the norm. But it's great to see that the teachers and the students are well adapted to it. And to them, it's just another drill. And I'm grateful that we are where we are. And I do hope that we never have to use it. But I do feel that if we God forbid, ever had to use it, I feel like we'd be well prepared. So I want to thank everyone that was involved. And the final words is that on April 2nd will be the Unsung Hero Awards presentations, or nominations, I should say. And that will actually be held at Morris Knolls High School. And there will be another Denville 8th grader that's going to be nominated for an Unsung Hero Award. So I look forward to that presentation. Okay.
I'll tell you what I have for the Friday folder. So far, I have the Acme donation, the reminder that we have some presentations coming up on March 10th and 24th about the budget. I'm sorry, March 10th and April 24th about the budget, and then the 24th and the 9th about the March 24th and June 9th about NJSBA. And then also that the board approved the summer enrichment program. Anything else to add?
Do you want a reminder on the March 5th Anxious Generation?
And just as a side note, from the parents' perspective, I had like 15 people reach out to me on Friday to let me know they love the new format. Like the way the Friday folder was set up on the website, there were like the images, it was better organized. People were psyched.
Wow, that's great to hear.
It was like,
It really is.
all of a sudden I just had all these text messages and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to say something. So yeah,
Thank you. I
kudos.
appreciate that.
Okay, if there's nothing else for the good of the cause, we'll go ahead and open it up for public comments at 7:51 p.m. Seeing no one in the chambers and no one online, we'll close it at 7:52 p.m. There should be no need for another executive session. So could I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? We are now adjourned at 7:52 p.m. Thank you, everyone.